it is this time of the week, which took way too long, in my opinion. The week took way too long. HOR is, like always, back on Fridays, and for this week we have, as you can see, Abu Dhabi, Yas Marina. The track not so bad anymore, pre-2021. Yeah, we have a championship on the line as well. We could see VisileBoar taking the title in this race. Of course, VisileBoar is not driving. But before we go into the standings, let's go to the race results. And in the sprint, Trent has won it in front of Clipsy, Yingaway, Poole, Ollie, Cialdino, Wave, and Chimp. Those are the points drivers that have scored points. And then after that, it's Riz, Brothers, Dome, Rev, Alamine, and Laurie who have finished the race. And then it's Fiji, Fresh, TLW, and Chesney who have crashed or retired from the Grand Prix. And then in the main race, Ollie Bott won his first Grand Prix in HOR in his first attempt. P2 is Trent, who got no penalties, so very lucky out of him to finish very close behind Ollie. Third is Yingaboy. Fourth, unfortunately, fourth is Poole. Fifth, Fiji. Sixth, Riz. Seventh, Chimp. Eighth, Cialdino. Of course, unlucky for Cialdino since he was dominating the race up until that first safety car. Unfortunately, he had to settle for eighth. Brothers ninth. Dome rounds off the top 10. And then it is Clipsy and Chesney who round off the people who have finished the race. And then we have Wave, Fresh, Rev, Alamine, TLW, and Laurie. Laurie DSQ from the race. I didn't actually check the decisions. Yeah, because he didn't. Yeah. Okay, so he did, since he didn't complete the 50% of the race, then he got DSQ'd. Yeah. So in the driver standings, Trent with that P2. And almost, well, pretty much getting a win, a total amount of wins, total amount of points, what you would get from a normal race win and a fastest lap. He has now taken P2 in the standings, overtaking Poole. Vampy has dropped down to fourth. Poole still in third. But the gap between first and second is 30 points. Trent needs to, score for a minimum. Well, technically minimum would be like 4 points to stay in the title fight. Of course, you want more, a lot more. But yeah, VisileBoar in first. Like I said, he's not driving this season anymore. Second is Trent with 111 points. VisileBoar is still 141. Poole in third with 107. He's 34 points behind VisileBoar. Then it says Vampy in fourth with 98. Clipsy in fifth with 91. 50 points exactly behind VisileBoar. And Yingaboy with that P3, he jumps up to P6 with 90 points. And still, mathematically, still in the championship contention. 51 points behind VisileBoar. So mathematically still in the championship fight. And then the next drivers are not in the championship fight anymore. Alex in 7th with 71. Cialdino 8th with 69. Nice. Drilla 9th with 50. And Cerniclay still in 10th with 30 points. Olibot is 1 point behind him. But Cerniclay is still in front. In the constructors, it is pretty much, well, McLaren would need an absolute masterclass in this race to catch up to VCarb enough for the to extend the constructors fight to the final race, which is in Qatar. That's gonna be an interesting one, I should say. But yeah, VCarb in first, still in first with 223 points, the first team to go into 200s. Second is McLaren with 162. They have 61 point deficit to VCarb. And right behind them is Haas with one singular point behind McLaren. 161. Sorry, not 161. 162 to VCarb, but 1 point behind McLaren. Fourth is Williams with 142, 19 points behind Haas, 81 behind VCarb. So I think, not technically, they should be, not technically, or technically, mathematically speaking, I think still Williams and Mercedes have the chance for the constructors. Of course, it's mathematical chances. But yeah, Williams in fourth with 142, Mercedes in fifth with 140 points, so 2 points behind Williams and 83 behind VCarb. So they still have mathematical chances for the championship. And then the next teams do not have it. Yeah, definitely they don't have it. Sixth is at Aston Martin, 140 points. They have jumped Red Bull, who did not score any sort of points last race. Yeah, both DNF in the main race, and then both outside of the top 10 in the sprint race. Of course, top 8 score points, but top 10 is a bit easier. So yeah, they dropped down to 7th Red Bull with 101 points. Then a massive cliff from Red Bull to Alpine. 8th Alpine, 42 points. Ferrari 9th with 31 points, and Sauber with 10th with 16 points. So there's still could be a change in the bottom half of the table between Alpine, Ferrari, and Sauber, maybe. We'll see. Wave is driving for Alpine, so probably that is going to destroy Ferrari's any chances of getting points, probably. Aston Martin, Red Bull, 13 points between them. Then, of course, Williams and Mercedes, 2 points between them. McLaren and Haas, 1 singular point between them. Of course, then McLaren, Haas, Williams, and Mercedes could still fight for the second place, theoretically. But all 4 of those still can, mathematically speaking, challenge VCarb for the constructors. It's going to be very difficult for the constructors, of course, but who knows? I mean, anything can happen. A lot can happen. In 2007, Kimi Raikkonen had like mathematical chances in the 2 final races. He was like 17 points or something like that behind Lewis, and back then you had like 10 points for the win. Or he was something like 19 points behind. And then the 2 final races he won, and Lewis had a stinker. Can't remember what happened to Alonso, but in the end he overtook both of them by 1 singular point. Even though going into the 2, yeah. I mean, Alonso in China, I don't know much, but in Brazil, he was just nowhere compared to the Ferraris. He was just nowhere. He was like I believe he was like 50 seconds behind them. Or maybe I was, I don't know. I was like, what, a year old as well. So this is all just like replays that I thought of, but still, yeah, yeah. I mean, Hamilton as well in those 2 races got, well, fucked by. In China, I believe that was like the team trying to stay him out as long as possible. I believe, I don't know. And then in Brazil, his gearbox died for a good minute. And yeah, drivers out on track as we start qualifying. We have Fiji out on track, Constella, Clipsy, TLW, Olibot, Yengaboy, Trent. Well, pretty much it's gonna be everyone out on track. Let me just check the flipping weather so that I'm not gonna get surprised by the weather. All of a sudden there's gonna be rain in qualifying. No, there isn't. Just checking that out. But yeah, a lot of people out on track. The two Red Bulls as well. Like I said, the only people who are in the pits at the moment are Riz, Mighty, no, not Mighty Boo, Cora and Dome are in the pits. The rest of the people are out there on track. Everyone is of course on the softs, but I'll just leave that out. I think Lips is going to be the first one to be on a flying lap. Yes, he is going to be, so let's just go with him. Of course, you VisileBoar, you are going to pray that Olibot wins, or someone else than the top two. Maybe Yengaboy, maybe, I don't know, all of a sudden, Szczesny is going to win it. Maybe Szczesny Riz is going to win it. Who knows? But, of course, yeah, that as well. Trent and Poole to crash, then that's going to be absolute mint for you. 17.408 for Clipsy through the first sector. That's a decent first sector. On the exit of turn 5 now into this main straight, the longest straight on this track, and then heavy braking into turn 6. This chicane, turn 6 and 7, a bit of a real lockup going into turn 6, bit time loss as well. Good exit out of turn 7. Turn 8, it just that little bit of a kink. DRS open to this another straight with DRS going into turn 9, sector 2, split 52.740 in the second sector, going a bit-ish wide, I believe. Of course, I'm not really the person that's really to know what's a good line in terms of those corners. Into turn 12, 13, 14, maybe we could see a Hamilton, Latifi in here. Turn 15, and then into the final corner, turn 16. Pretty easy corner. No ERS usage for Clipsy in the rest of the lap, and Clipsy goes first, of course. 22.672 by Clipsy. Then we have an Alpine of TLW goes second, 23.439, and Aston Martin Fiji goes second, 23.026. Behind he has a Sauber that is Dome starting his lap. Yengaboy goes now P1, 22.613. Olibot goes Szczesny goes 5th, 23.265. Olibot third, 22.883. Wave goes now fastest, 22.490. Behind a Ferrari that's fresh, going slowest by far, 1.1 seconds behind CLW. I don't know what the hell has happened to Fresh. He is fallen off of the cliff in terms of pace recently. Poole goes second, 22.548. Alamine goes 7th, 23.157. Kemar as well in 10th, 23.633. Then Mighty Boo is invalid, or no, he's starting his lap, I believe. Now Constella as well doing another lap, since he probably invalidated the first one. Dome has invalidated. Cora as well. Mighty Boo's first sector, let's see his first sector, 17.644. Bit slow to the first sector, at least compared to Clipsy. I mean, almost 3 seconds, 3/10 down on Clipsy's first sector is a bit worrying. I mean, the first sector is really just one corner, and then just the acceleration of it, and then pretty much turn 2, 3, and 4. They're not really that corners that should be challenging in these cars. It's not F1 22 where that turn 2 is debatable if it's flat out or not. But yeah, P6 goes Constella, 22.902. Champ goes 13.28.017, but highly doubt that that's his best lap, as he already improved to the first sector, 17.552 through the first sector. I mean, it is a decent first sector, like that. Mighty Boo is going to complete his lap, and he's going to go P12, 23.565 by the Red Bull reserve. Yeah, I believe so. Riz in P9, 23.221. Anyone on a lap? Fiji could be on a lap. He is on a lap. A 10th up on his time. Chimp as well on a lap. 3.5 seconds up on his time. So that would putting him, well, behind Fresh, or somewhere around Fresh's territory. Wave, no, he's not on a lap. Fiji's on a lap, no, he isn't, he has binned it. Or I don't know, but still, doesn't complete a lap. And Chimp goes up into P5, 22.744 by Chimp. So that's a very good lap by Chimp. Of course, Ferrari have been a bit struggling in terms of points. Not mentioning the first 6 races, they haven't scored any sort of points. But then after that, they got a good momentum. So yeah. Wave on a lap. First sector is a bit down through the first sector. 63 thousandths down his time. I'm just gonna keep watching Fresh what he's gonna be doing on his lap. Clipsy in 4th. That was the first ride that I looked on his lap, and he definitely has time to improve exactly through that turn 6. Wave now going into the second sector split. Does he improve on his time? No, he doesn't. 4 tenths behind. Okay, that's not going to be a time that he's going to improve in. He's not even using his ERS. As we see that there's a Ferrari off the track, but that's Fresh, probably. No, that was actually Clipsy. But anyways, Dome is going to be starting his lap. Cora as well soon. Trent the same. The most important out of those 3, of course, not saying that Cora and Dome are just some slow pokes. Like, they're not relevant or anything. It's just that Trent is fighting for the championship, whilst Cora and Dome are of course racing for a bit of fun. And like, if you're Trent, then you're probably taking it at this point, and probably 2 races ago, a bit more serious. Now a lot more serious, since the title is on the line. You're the favorite to win from the people that are trying to catch up. VisileBoar. Cora's first sector, 17.544 to the first sector, so that's a very good first sector. Trent, I didn't see a split, but he's definitely using his ERS, so he's definitely on a lap. Dome to the second sector, 53.138. Not really a particularly good second sector, at least compared to Clipsy. There'll be 4 tenths to, around 4 tenths behind. That's gonna be around, at the moment, Alamines and Riz's territory. Trent to the second sector, 52.720, so that's a very good second sector. Dome goes 12th as Clipsy improves his time massively, and he goes provisional pole position, 22.287 by Clipsy. 2 tenths faster than Wave. Wave now exits out of the pits, but Clipsy goes provisional pole position. Of course, there's still Trent, who could maybe take that provisional pole position out from him. Cora, a bit of a slide on the exit, and he goes P5 still, 22.728. Trent goes now P5, 22.670. So for Trent, it's not looking, in terms of the championship, that was, of course, his first run, or a run that he got actually to set a time. So maybe he can still improve on the lap, but at the moment in P5, of course, good, well, not anymore P5, P6 now, since Olibot has improved his time to go into 22.628, 15 thousandths behind Yenga Boy. So yeah, at the moment for Trent, of course, it would be a lot better for him to be up there, a lot more up there, but of course there's still, he can still pull off 1 lap in this qualifying. Kemar goes P11, 22.945. Riz not improving. Chimp going for a lap. The same with Consular, it seems like it. Consular, no. Trent as well doesn't invalidate through the first corner. Wave on a flying lap to the first sector, 16,000 down his time, so a lot better than his previous not completed time. Since he's a little bit down on his first sector, of course, the most ideal would be to be as far of an improvement as possible, but you know, it is what it is. Not always you can improve through the first sector, especially that is really like one corner where you really need to concentrate for. Through the turn 6, 7, and 8, very good for Wave, at least. Well, very good. He did not invalidate or spin. Second sector, he's still that's a bit down. He's barely lost any time. Mighty Boo goes 9th, 22.758, right behind Chimp. Wave is going to be the next one to cross the line for a lap. Let's see where Wave is going to finish his lap. He doesn't finish the lap since he is invalidated on the exit out of turn 14, but Wave finishes the lap anyways. And to see where would he have been, he barely lost any time on that lap. Chimp now goes third, 22.509. Chimp, he's cooking right now. He is cooking in third. Very good qualifying by him. Poole goes second, 22.483. Still, no one can go anywhere close to Clipsy. Still, a 2/10 gap between Clipsy and now Poole. Consular as well. I did not forget about him. In fifth now. Wasn't third, but now drops down to fifth, of course, since Chimp and Poole went faster than him. 22.579 by Consular. Wildstorm F1. That's the EA ID. Wildstorm F1. W Wildstorm F1. Not with a V. W, of course. Just for clarification. Chesney Riz through the first sector was up by 1.5 tenths. Now gets a slight bit of a slipstream from his teammate. 2 tenths up on his time through the second sector. Wave going for another lap, it seems like it, on the same sort of softs. Chimp into the pits. Consular's one to bit Ying away as well into the pits. And then, yeah, we go back to Riz on his lap with that 2 tenths gap. That would put him around P12, P11. Can he go a bit of a slide on the exit? And it goes only up into P15, 23.129. Lost a 10th, over 10th through that third sector. And so he only improves by one position. Fresh still 4 tenths behind Dome. I seriously do not know what the hell has happened to Fresh in these couple of races. He has just fully dropped the ball, really, or dropped the pace as well. Wave, first sector not improvement, second sector 2 tenths down his time. He's not going to improve on his time. He can barely improve. Like that first time, it seems like he has really set a good time, and then now he just cannot improve it. He's just matching that time, but not really improving in any sort of way. First sector is always down a bit. Second sector, he is always down. That previous run, not this one. The previous run, he was a tiny bit down, like tiny bit, 4,000 down, and then through the on the exit out of final corner to the finish line, he was like 23,000 down on his time as he crossed the line. So it's not really like he was matching his pace. On that lap. Clipsy now has started possibly his final well, not really Q3 run, but qualifying lap. First sector was 83,000 down his time, so it's not a good start to his lap whatsoever, but he's still pushing. He's still using his ERS modes, so he is trying to improve that time. Trent as well. It seems like that he started his lap. So let's see what the first sector for Trent it is going to be. Can he improve on that? No, he can't. 55,000 down his time to the first sector. Dome, no, he's not on the lap. Clipsy has abandoned his lap, so he's not gonna. So he still has one more lap to do. Trent is the only one on a flying lap as of right now. Into turn 6. Bit-ish. I mean, it was a good one. The exit of turn 7 was not good one. A bit of a oversteer there. Now onto this back straight. Second sector, is he going to be up on his time? I mean, he did gain a tiny bit of time, but in the end, he's still not up on his time. This probably you, yeah. Trent now across the finish line. No ERS deployment whatsoever, and Trent, can he improve on his time? Yes, he can, but by only 8 thousandths of a second. So he stays in 8th, drifts on the exit out of turn 1 for Trent. This is horrible qualifying. This is absolutely horrible for Trent. This is absolutely delightful for VisileBoar. In terms of the situation, what is happening to Trent, but what Poole is doing, it's not so much good. Poole through the first sector, he has a bit of slipstream. Poole, I miss what was his first sector, but anyways, probably he is gonna gain a lot on this time since he has good slipstream. Behind Olibot stays in 7th, doesn't improve. Chesney, his teammate, is up on his time a bit through the second sector by 36,000, but he abandons his lap. Then the two Williamses, that's gonna be Cora, he's down a bit on his time. Younger boy is 3/10 up on his time, so he can really go, maybe even for the pole positions, as he is 3/10 up on his time. Can he go provisional pole position? Yes, he can go provisional pole position. 22.231. That is Younger boy on pole position, but provisionally so. At the moment, there is still a lot of drivers to complete their times. Trent into the pits. Dome in P8, very good lap by him. I did not see that whatsoever. Constant done with his time. Chimp is going to be across the line. Behind him, there's Poole. Chimp, where he can go provisional pole position. Poole stays in 4th with that slipstream. Poole stays in 4th. Goes down to 5th as Fiji goes 4th by a single thousandth of a second. Can the Ferrari seriously take pole position in here? Wave stays in 6th. And yes, it is a pole position for the Ferrari driver. It is a whole grid Ferrari sandwich as well. From P1 down to 18th. Chimp, out of nowhere, is on pole position. The beginning, you compare the beginning of the season and midway through the season, and now what he has done in qualifying, it is absolutely insane. This is what Chimp needed as well last season in the final races when he was fighting for the championship. Or was it Clipsy or was it someone else? I can't really now fully remember. But I think it was Chimp. And Chimp is on pole position in front of Younger Boy, which they were teammates last season. I need to check this out. But for VisileBoar, this is absolutely fantastic. This is absolutely fantastic. Poole down at 5th, so he doesn't have clear pace to go for the win. Trent down in 9th. He's or maybe even in 10th. He's down in 10th, maybe even. But let me just check. Yes, Chimp and Yingaboy were the teammates. And the final 3 races by Chimp and Yingaboy, they were absolutely horrible. This is what they needed last season. This is what they needed last season. The ending of this season. The ending of this season. They needed that last season. But yeah, I don't know why am I not getting the flipping results of qualifying. now, but yeah, lovely. Lovely EA. As always. But yeah, let me just flipping check the flipping positions. So yeah, Trent down in 10th. Down in 10th. Jesus Christ. This is absolutely wonderful for VisileBoar. This is absolutely wonderful for VisileBoar. Poole doesn't have clear pace to go for the win. Of course, he's close up there, but not like clear pace that he could confidently get the win. And Trent, well, he doesn't even have he's in anywhere close to that. He was like half a second behind Chimp, so yeah, he's not gonna be one of the favorites to. Maybe he can gain those 5 points, 6 points, but other than that, I don't think he can have theoretical chances of getting it in the next week's race. But anyways, we'll be heading to the 5 red lights soon. Not even soon. Now 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights out. Now on the way here in the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Chimp gets a very good start off the line as well. Just Yinga by them 2, 3 actually, as Chimp as well managed to keep his P3. So those 3 managed to keep their first top 3 positions. Fresh going up by a position as Chesney Reeves has a horrible stars as well, but Fresh drops down anyways. Chimp in the lead still. Clipsy tries to go for the P2 in front of Yinga by into turn 5. Bit of contact between them, but they're going side by side now on the main straight. Clipsy has the slipstream from Chimp, so now he is in front, but the Yinga boy is gonna have to send it into turn 6 now on the inside. It's on the sausage curve on the inside, but anyways, Chimp is still in the lead. Clipsy in P2. Clipsy, is he gonna go for it on the attack into turn 9? The answer is gonna be no. But these 3 are in a very good position as behind Fiji has had a bit of, I think, contact with Poole. But anyways, he's a bit down on Yinga boy, 7 tenths behind. Behind as well, Dome has lost a lot of places and he has damaged front wing, damaged end plate on the right hand side. So, you know, he sends a massive one down inside into turn 12 on TOW. But yeah, pretty much for Dark, that good P8 that he got in the race has immediately turned into a disaster since he is going to go into the pits. The same with Chesney since he has damaged front wing as well. So both of them into the pits. Olibot is the only one on the hards. So that's very interesting strategy by the hards driver. Lost 1 position, which is not too bad considering the hards. Clips right behind Chimp, even touching his the rear of the car. Now with the DRS now activated on lap 2, Clipsy should be able to get the easy overtake done on Chimp. Yes, he does. Maybe an Yinga boy could get it done into turn 6, but he doesn't want to go for it. Fiji right behind. Yeah, Poole goes a bit deep into turn 6. Wave gets in front. Costline maybe gets in front as well. Yes, he does get in front. So Poole drops down to P7 as well. Trent, we have to talk about Trent. He's down in 11th, so this is absolutely horrible for the 2 championship contenders at the moment. With these positions, Poole in 6th, so Trent is going out of the contention for the championship as things stand. Poole 35 points behind. I think Poole still has chances for it, since it's going to be 27 points, so he would need... I mean, it's going to be down to wins as Fiji goes a bit deep into the final corner. But like I said, it is going to be down to wins and P2's P3s, as it's going to be 27 points. And then, of course, on fastest lap pole position, you get 1 point. And then the race win, you get 25 points. So it's going to be 27. So in the end, it is going to be down to wins, P2s and P3s. But I think VisileBoar has more wins than Poole. So in the end, I think VisileBoar would be the champion, but I would need to check that at some point. Clips, is he going to go down inside into turn 6 once again? Yes, he is. Going for the overtake once again on Chimp. Chimp drops down to P2, of course. Where am I getting these shitty cameras? What the hell? Poole now gets through Consular. No, he actually doesn't. He was just ghosted for some reason. Chimp now goes for the attack once again on the same part of the circuit that he overtook him last lap. It's just a bit of DRS swapping. Behind, it seems like Mighty Boy and Trent have swapped places back to P10 and P11 between them two. So Trent's still down 11th, a bit off there through turn 12. But Trent is a bit struggling as Mighty Boy now has got a big moment on the exit of turn 14. And so that means Trent is up into P10, but now he's in the risk of not getting that DRS. That gap is so close. 8 tenths now, a bit of a mistake on the exit of turn 1, but I think he's gonna get it. The gap is 9 tenths now. So yeah, he's gonna get that DRS, but of course then on the next straight and all that, anything can happen. So yeah, we'll see. Can he still maintain it? I mean, it's now 6 tenths, so he should be able to maintain it. Clipsy, once again, like two previous laps ago, goes for the move up into P1, which Wave tries to go for it, down inside on Fiji, into turn 6 and 7, and he does get him very nicely. So he is up to P4. Yengaboy tries to go for the double overtake on Clipsy and Chimp, but in the end does get a very good overtake on Clipsy. So he's up to P2. Clipsy drops down one position, so he is now down to P3. Alamine, TOW, and Riz are now down in 14, 15, 16 as... well, they're down there. I mean, I'm talking about... trying to talk about that they don't have the DRS to the rest of the pack. But now there's the yellow flags between them. TOW has a broken front wing. Alamine spins on the exit of turn 14. Trying to cause Latifi. Of course, this is not the season finale, so it's not that dramatic. Alamine and TOW go now into the pits. Neither of them gets a penalty, so should probably not see anyone DNF in. Dome gets a 3-second time penalty, the first one to get the 3 seconds. On the exit out of turn 5 on lap 5. Trent loses two positions to Mighty Boy and Kemason. Probably a mistake there by Trent. Trent is not having a great time whatsoever. Trent, Yengaboy, looked kind of to go for the attack behind. Oh, Jesus Christ. Everyone just being so close and everyone hitting each other off. That pause. Cora is... no, actually, Olibot has dropped the DRS, it seems like, almost to Consular. He's just outside of that 1 second. And it seems like he is inside of that 1 second now. Of course, these guys are super close between each other, so they can't really afford to really go flat out through here. Of course, then the mediums... well, at this stage, they are still faster than the hards, but it's of course going to be getting better and better for the hard tires, that the hard tires are going to be faster at some point of the race, but not now. But he's back into P6 tenths to Consular. Alamine gets a racing time penalty. Chimp has pulled out the gap of 5 tenths on Yengaboy actually now. Chimp as well has plenty of VRS, so he's been doing very nice in terms of VRS. Clifton now sends it down inside into turn 5 on Yengaboy down inside. Does he get that move? Seems like he does get it. Alamine retires on the exit of turn 14, pretty much the same identical place where Latifi retired, but no safety car out on track. Seems like it, so we are still racing flat out. Okay, that was just by press of a button, so yeah, pretty... well, it's not really a big surprise that there's no safety car, but Chimp is really looking like he could genuinely fight for the win, and maybe even get that win. Of course, as you saw last week, Consular, Cialdino could have gone for the race win. Chimp goes very deep deep wide on the exit out of turn 14, the same as Mighty Boo. I saw that for a fraction of a second. But yeah, Chaldinho had the race win, but then all the shenanigans and all that, different things happened in the race, and as well contact between Yingaboy and himself costed him that race win, and he finished down in P8. For now though, looking for this race, Clipsy's right behind Chimp. Good Yingaboy as well, try and go for it for an overtake on Chimp. Clipsy is of course going to be going for it. Actually, not of course, he's not going for it, and behind anyone is going to go for the attack on anyone. Fiji goes down inside on a wave, but there's a flipping car park or a traffic jam through turn 6 and 7 into the pace. Wave is still in front of Fiji, but they're going very, very slow through turn 6 and 7. Wave now tries to go down inside into turn 9, but contact between them. Wave into the wall. Wave probably has damage. Yes, he has damage. So, contact between them. I think Wave just went a bit too deep into that turn 9. Yingaboy left him good amount of space from what I saw. So, Wave's bad luck continues. What I've seen from in the races, he has the pace, but his luck just lets him down all the time. Meanwhile, behind Dome is in front of TLW, although TLW has the better hearts. It seems like it. But TLW is still driving with that broken front wing. Yeah, Wave. Yeah. So another driver has retired from the Grand Prix, and that is Wave retiring. So Alpine getting no extra points so far. But Ferrari could be going for a race win. They could be going for a race win and maybe some extra points, since Fresh is in P11. Clipsy now goes for the... Well, wanted to go for the attack, I guess not. All the different DRS swaps now to Clipsy fighting with Yingaboy. This could benefit Chimp a lot better, and it is going to benefit Chimp since the gap is now 6 tenths. Clipsy and Yingaboy still going side by side into turn 9. Not anymore. Clipsy still in front of Yingaboy. Chimp is still in front, leading the Grand Prix. So Chimp is really driving this race very, very well, driving very smartly at the moment. Behind TLW and Dome fighting for P4. World record right there. By the highest jump made by an F1 car. Jesus Christ, TLW, what a jump. That was genuinely like 15 meters right there. TLW should switch sports, going into ski jumping at this point. Jesus, what a jump by TLW that was. In the meantime, Trent goes for a massive undercut, going for the hards, of course, but somewhat early on, I would say, on lap 9, actually on lap 8, but whatever. Clipsy now finally goes for an overtake on Chimp. Doesn't want to play with this DRS games, and Fiji has sent an outrageous move down inside on Yingaboy, and now he might lose a position to Poole, and yes, he does lose a position to Poole. Poole is up to P4, every single position counts for him, but Fiji has a bit more out of DRS. He's gonna try to hang it around the outside. In the meantime, in front Chimp gets back, a bit of contact between Constant and Fiji, a little bit more contact between them, and in the end, Poole is in 4th. Fiji has lost 2 positions, just like that. Tried to go for 1 position plus, but has went 2 positions minus. So yeah, Consola and Yingaboy now as well go into the pits. Consola 3 seconds, but that's gonna get removed. That 1 warning. Yeah, the game is very nice since you get a warning going into the pit. So that's 1 warning, pretty much for everyone, is gonna get removed. So you might see a lot of people getting warnings removed if that, of course, costs them that 3-second time penalty. The 2 drivers in front, Chimp and Clipsy, now are just chilling themselves now. Just in the top 2, since Poole doesn't have the DRS. Olibot overtakes Fiji. Fiji has the DRS, but Olibot went for an overtake. Probably used a little bit more ERS. Has caught up to Poole to 6/10. Of course, not going to overtake him into turn 9. But of course, he's going to catch up to him a little bit, unless Fiji is going to try to go for it for the overtake. But he doesn't go. He doesn't go for it. And finally, since no one is pressuring from behind, finally Clipsy is in front of Chimp going into the 3rd sector. So now finally he can control the pace up in front. But they are going to have to consider Yingaboy and Konstla's undercuts. They've been fighting a little bit, it seems like it. Although it could have been just a position swap. But there goes Clipsy, Poole. Pretty much everyone on the mediums right now from the top 6. Cora as well in the pits. Riz stays out. So Mighty Boo, Fresh and Kema stay out on track. Of course, Fresh, it makes sense to stay out since his teammate literally pitted now. So he would have gotten a massive double stack. So he would have lost quite a lot of time. But Olibot, of course, on the hard, so he had to stay out. Mighty gonna come a bit interested what their strategy is, but maybe praying for a safety car. But in the end, it is Yingaboy and Konstla. They have jumped both Clipsy and Chimp, so that undercut has paid them very well in this race. So technically now Yingaboy is leading the Grand Prix from Konstla, from Clipsy and from Chimp. Konstla goes for the overtake on Yingaboy. Yingaboy, of course, has no penalties compared to Konstla's 3 seconds. A bit of a curb, sausage curb jump from Konstla. Now Yingaboy has a very, very easy overtake on Konstla way before turn 9, and it's going to open up the gap up into 3/10s, over 3/10s, almost 4/10s now even. Behind Kema, and it looked like Mighty Boo might have made a mistake since he lost the position to Fresh and Kema. Fresh into the pits, of course. Kema stays out to one more lap. Mighty Boo into the pits. Kema now has gone off the track. I'm very interested. What is Kema's strategy, since overcuts don't work on this game whatsoever. Of course, a bit interested what Olibot was thinking with those hards, but to be fair, he can risk for a safety car, and yeah, then he's gonna be golden. Brand new mediums. The others are probably gonna pit again. The drivers who are now on the mediums are gonna have to either go for hards or softs, but softs are not gonna work so hard. So technically, Olibot would be in a prime position to take a full advantage out of a safety car. Back to the net race leaders. Konstla, is he going for the overtake on Yingaboy? Yes, he does. Yingaboy wanted to defend the inside, it seems like it, but Konstla just goes through him very easily on the outside. And Konstla gets a good exit out of turn number 7, but Yingaboy is closing a lot with the use of ERS as well. It's back up to P4. And yeah, back to that net race lead. Still more than half a race to go. Meanwhile, behind, it seems like Fresh and Mighty Boo are switching places, and Fresh is up to P12 in front of Mighty Boo. Of course, them two have just pitted. By the way, I wanna say something about Trent's undercut. Brilliant move by Trent. Of course, it depends. Does he have the pace to stay with that pack? But a brilliant move by Trent as Fiji goes off the circuit. Came out in the pit as well. But a brilliant move by Trent. And now he's fighting for that net top 5. Poole does not have the DRS. And that is very crucial, since on this game, of course, you need the DRS to keep up with a train in front. Because if it's train like this, it is very difficult to keep up with the drivers in front. It is very, very difficult. Yingaboy overtakes Riz. Consuela, is he gonna stay behind the race? Yes, he does. It's gonna buy some time for Yingaboy, definitely. Oh, yeah. Has lost his rear on the exit of turn 7. This is absolutely brilliant for Yingaboy. And now they're going 3 wide on this back straight. The 2 McLarens as well trying to overtake Riz. Riz doesn't leave any, doesn't want to just let them through, but now he has to let them through as he was on the outside line. And now he has dropped mass amount of places. He's not gonna back out from Trent side by side through the turn number 12. Of course, this is absolutely brilliant for Fiji and Poole, since this buys them a bit of time back to the pack in front. Yingaboy fast lap. This could have been a chance for Yingaboy to try and Consuela of the circuit. Possibly a warning for that. But yeah, when Consuela got massively held up by the Mercedes of Riz, it could have been a moment where he could have ran away from the rest of the pack, but unfortunately Consuela and Clipsy have, well, mainly Consuela, they have caught up. So the train is back. Poole and Fiji changing places. Riz helped out Poole a lot, as well Fiji, but it was mainly for Poole. Unfortunately, it did not help Poole that much, since they are still not within that DRS train, and now they have to fight themselves out for P7, which at the moment for Poole is not enough for a continuation of the championship fight going into the final race in Qatar. At the moment, he'll be out of the championship. Yingaboy would be technically still not at this point. At this point, with Ollie still in the lead, he wouldn't be. But of course, with a race win, that would be enough for him to still extend his championship hopes alive, mathematically, of course, as well as Clipsy. Clipsy really needs that as well. So if Clipsy or Yingaboy win this race, they are going to have mathematical chances of winning the championship in the final race of the season. So yeah, it cannot be both of them in the last race. It's either Yingaboy or Clipsy, or none of them in the final race of the season. Battling out as Yingaboy gets a 3-second time penalty, as Consuela as well has picked up another 3-second time penalty. So his 3 seconds is going to stay there. Then it's of course a question of his 6 seconds. Can that be removed? But Yingaboy, of course, then if he got that warning going into the pits, then it can be removed. But if he didn't, and in the final 14-15 laps of racing, he picks up another warning, that's done. That 3 second stays, and then he just really needs to pray for Clipsy, Chimp, and Trent to catch 3 second time penalties as well. Maybe Fiji and Poole, but mainly the 3 behind him. That would be very crucial for him if he still wants that championship. Hopes to keep that championship hopes alive into the final race. At the moment, Clipsy would win the race and would keep his championship points alive. In terms of the constructors, in this order, it would be enough, I think, for, yeah, definitely enough for McLaren to get the constructors, as Clipsy tries to overtake Yingaboy as well. Clipsy goes very, very deep into turn 6 and 7. He hits his teammate as well, and trying to gain 2 positions at once, has lost everything and drops down behind the whole train. Went from 2nd down to 6th faster than... I'm not gonna say anything because I can't think of anything really, but really fast from 2nd to 6th, just with that one corner going way too deep. And yeah, Olibot still not pitting, the gap is 5.6 seconds. He could be, well, he could be. He's not gonna be the driver who's gonna be last, but he is gonna be fighting with Dome and Kema. He's gonna be down that pack. He's gonna be down there. So yeah, Ollie's race, that decision to go on the hards is a very interesting one, and at the moment, it's definitely not working unless he gets a safety car now. The race is gonna be done for Ollibot. Right then and there, it's gonna be done. So yeah, Clipsy, his chances of extending his championship to the final race are done at the moment. Chimp tries to go for the attack on well, he's gone for the attack on Gonsola, but doesn't want to go for the attack on Yingaboy, since he closes DRS down a lot earlier than normally would. And now, is he going to try to go for the attack on Yingaboy into turn 9? No, he doesn't. Doesn't want to go for it yet. Stays in third. Behind Yingaboy. Of course, this is net P2 for Chimp. Net P1. If Yingaboy's 3 seconds stays, that is a big question. But still 12 laps to go. Yingaboy could pick up another warning. And yeah, Ollibot finally goes into the pits. Has to go into the pits, and with that massive gap, he's gonna be way back. He's gonna be down with Mighty Boo and Kema. No, with Kema and Dome down there. If something, now he goes into his pit crew, into the new mediums. Of course, he's gonna be hella fast on them, but actually he's gonna be between Mighty Boo and Kema. So he's not gonna have to fight with Kema and Dome, it seems like it. But it's gonna be very close, be in front of them. But Ollibot is gonna be easily in front of them. So yeah, 1.4 seconds, and with those mediums, he's gonna be immediately catching Mighty Boo and Fresh as back into the race lead. Chimp goes up into the race lead. Clipsy as well back up to P4. So doing a bit of a recovery from that disastrous turn 6 2 laps ago. Chimp drops down behind Yingaboy, but of course that's mainly just DRS swapping. Behind, Cora drops 2 positions to Fresh and Mighty Boo. Mighty Boo and Fresh going side by side through turn 9. Cora as well tried his luck around the outside of Mighty Boo. That did not work. He's right behind Mighty Boo. But nothing works at the moment, so he's lost 2 positions to Fresh and Mighty Boo. Fresh is doing very good this race as well. From starting P18 with like 4 tenths, 5 tenths behind the next car. His race pace is really there. He's cooking in the race pace a bit. Chimp is in front of Yingaboy for somehow he's in front. Trent has nearly dropped it. I think he's still there within that DRS. I think he's still there within that DRS. Yes, he is within that DRS, but it was very close that he would not have made it. Chimp gets overtaken by Yingaboy. Does not get overtaken by Consola. Consola just has to. He doesn't have to, since he has plenty of fuel, but just did lifts and coast before turn 6. Thought that he was trying to let Clipsy through, but Clipsy was not close enough to even go for the overtake. So Consola still in front of Clipsy. And yeah, Chimp as well still behind Yingaboy. Trent is now nicely behind Clipsy. Of course he has a bit older tires, but I mean here he just looks so much slower than Clipsy through the 3rd sector. But probably just a mistake as well throughout the last lap. Not enough like that, but you get what I mean. Just some sort of a mistake, and that was it. He was nearly out of the DRS. He was going back to fight with Fiji and Poole. Ollibot, of course, fastest lap. So yeah, Fiji and Poole have not lost that much time as Fiji gets a 3 second, but they have not lost that much time as in front, Clipsy and Konsla switch places, although it's not really looking friendly between them. Clipsy tried to go for a genuine overtake on Konsla, but Konsla had none of that, and he's back up to P3. In the meantime, Chimp is back up to the race lead, overtaking Yengaboy, but Yengaboy gets a good exit out of turn 6. Turn 7 and 8, and now Yengaboy should be able to overtake Chimp very easily on this back straight, and yes he does. He is back up to P1, so Yengaboy back up to the net race lead. Of course, with the penalty, it is going to be a bit hard. I just want to quickly see what does he have any sort of warnings after that. There's that one warning, there's that. Doesn't seem like penalty plus warning. I mean, I just want to quickly see the penalties. Does Yengaboy have? There's that 3 seconds, and after that, he doesn't have anything. So at the moment, that 3 second could be removed, since it was the same lap that he pitted that he got that warning. Of course, then it's needs to be thought of. Can he? Of course, get that removed. Is that really the exact moment when he was pitting, or was it earlier within the lap? That's the thing that we don't know. Of course, for the championship, it would make a lot easier if someone like Chimp would be in front, winning the race, as they're almost going 3 wide into turn 6. Clipsy is really trying to overtake Konsala, but the two teammates hit each other. Konsala was flying off the sausage curb, but Trent gets in front of Konsala. The two McLarens are not really friendly whatsoever at this stage. They were really trying to overtake each other, or battle each other. Yengaboy back up to P1 yet again. Clipsy up to P4 a bit, but I don't think that should be happening whatsoever. I mean, Konsala knows that he has that. Out of those 6 seconds, 3 seconds is staying, since you don't get a 3 second penalty out of cutting that pit lane, or by going into the pit lane. You just get a warning. So yeah, I don't know what as well Konsala is doing, but as well Clipsy going a bit desperate with those moves. But of course, it's you kind of have to think about desperate, as Dome has binned it. VSC out on track, as Dome has binned it on the exit of turn 14. It looked like he just went straight, it looks like it. But that's only a VSC, and so far it's only a VSC. That actually the timing is or the timing board is actually showing right that it's a VSC. Sometimes, like last week, it showed that it's a VSC at first, but then it quickly switched to a full safety car, but it didn't change on the top. But yeah, Dome changing his front wing, and yeah, he's changed his front wing down to softs. That's championship chances done right there and there. Yengaboy drive through penalty for him. Ay. Even though if it's the game just being BS and all that, he has to serve it. That's championship chances gone. That's the race winning chances gone. That's him done. He can say bye to a podium, and even, I mean, points he can maybe get, but he's gonna have to fight for those points. But that's championship saying goodbye, adios, sayonara. And yeah, he's dropped down from P1 down to P11, just cropped that 1-1 out, and yeah, that'll be good then. So yeah, heartbreak for Yengaboy, as now it's back to Clipsy and Chimp fighting for the race lead. Like it was in the beginning laps, it is back to these two on lap 23 out of 29. Now Trent and Poole, at this stage of the Grand Prix, with these results, they are going to continue their championship hunt into the final race. Of course, Poole has 25 points difference. Trent is going to have 15-point difference between himself and VisileBoar, which that is a lot better for Trent. He would need to finish in a P3 with a fastest lap or a pole position. In P2, then he doesn't need anything. He doesn't need a pole position. He doesn't need a fastest lap. P2 or P1 in the final race of the season. Just that. But at the moment, of course, still we have 6 laps to go. And yeah, still anything can happen. Trent could bin it. Poole could bin it. Who knows? Or both of them could get killed. Maybe Fiji all of a sudden just Olibot has the fastest lap, definitely. Or Dome, or it could be Dome, since Dome. Clipsy, a massive slide on the exit out of turn 7. That has backed up Kosel a bit back. Dome now has the fastest lap as Trent tries to go for the race win out of nowhere. He was like P3 and now he was fighting, almost going for the race win, but Chimp defended brilliantly. And Trent is back down to P3. Kosela trying his way to attack. Trent going a bit wide on the exit out of turn 14. It's now 7/10 behind Clipsy. Getting that DRS is critical. At this, well, in the whole race, it is very critical. But overall, it is very critical to just get that DRS. But yeah, Dome has that fastest lap now, so. Yeah, by far. I mean, Olibot has 24.8, which that was the previous fast lap holder. Dome has gone 6/10 faster than that. So yeah. Back up to the front. The top 4 trying to fight for the race win. Mainly the top 3, and mainly at the moment so far, it is Clipsy between Clipsy versus Chimp. Of course, Trent tries his luck to go for it. But so far, it looked like there was a bit of contact between them, but it wasn't. That was just Bullard. And now Chimp is going to go for it on this back straight. Is going to go for the overtake, and he's done it. Trent closing in a lot on Clipsy, but doesn't go for it. Fiji and Poole trying their hardest to stay within Consola's 3 seconds. With how things are going to be at the moment, with the penalties actually. Poole is going to have, not going to have 25 points. He's going to have 23 points, I believe, going into the final race, 23 points behind VisileBoar. So, yeah, so he just needs, the only thing that he would need is the race win. That's it. Race win, that's it. Fastest lap, doesn't matter. Pole position, doesn't matter. Race win, that's done. It will be done right there. Clipsy and Chimp. For Clipsy, this is as well critical to win this race if he wants to keep his championship hopes alive. And in the final race of the season, we would have 3 drivers fighting it out for the championship, with a 4th driver that cannot race. Trent trying to go for the overtake on Chimp. Chimp trying to defend very aggressively on the straight. Trent, does he have the overtake? No, he doesn't. On the exit, pushed off by Kosela. Yellow flags down by TOW. Safety car! Again, safety car in the final laps. Again, safety car on the final laps. Once again. Like last week, safety car in the final laps of the race. TOW, like VisileBoar mentions, a Latifi flashback. Coincidentally, TOW has binned it on that exact corner. like Latifi. He's binned it right there and there. That is crit. Oh my goodness me. Everyone's going for the softs. Maybe someone is gonna try risk it to stay out. Cora is staying out fresh into the pits. Oli's staying out, so he's trying his luck as well. These two could bring some chaos into here. Kema trying to stay out. Yengaboy pits. Riz, of course, not close enough to try and go for it. Kema, could he be in front of Trent? No, he isn't. Could he be between Trent and Poole? I think he was behind him. They were side by side, but I think Kema is behind Poole. Yes, he is behind Poole. Oh, actually, no. Poole is behind Kema. So unlucky for Poole right there. So lucky for Kema. So lucky for Trent. Because that would have been his two championship rivals trying to go for it. For the race win. I mean, of course, at this point in the race, everything can happen. But not really a race win. That would be just only for the championship, of course. Neither of them, Trent or Poole, have had a great race this race. Safety car in this lap. That's one lap on the safety car. And Chesney and Riz and Dome, well, they're gonna be a bit down. But Cora and Olibot somehow could go for the race win once again. But of course, 9 lap old mediums, 16 lap old hards compared to everyone behind besides Kema is on 14 lap old hards. Then of course Konsla on the mediums for some reason. Even used softs would be better. Let's see, Cora leading the way. Clipsy, Chimp and Trent, they're gonna have to clear all of this traffic in front of them. Well, all of this traffic, it's really only 2 cars, but still, they're gonna have to clear those 2 in front of them. They're gonna have to clear them as quickly as possible. And let's see, where's Cora gonna go? I think it's gonna be on the exit of the final corner. Yes, he does go on the exit of the final corner. Olibot Clipsy. No one gets caught out by that whatsoever. Clipsy trying to go for it already on Olibot into turn 1, but he's not close enough. On the exit out of the final. Olibot and Clipsy, contact between them. Clipsy drops down 2 positions, 3 positions even behind Poole, but he's side by side with him. Poole, what was that turning by Poole? It looked like there. In front, Chimp is going for the race win in front of him. Only Cora in front of him. He's trying to go for his first win of the season. That will be absolutely magical in a Ferrari, what he has been through this season. Behind, it's 3 wide between Trent, Clipsy and Poole. Pro trying to late break his way in front of Olibot. Down 3 seconds, but we don't care about that. Olibot is ghosted. He's gonna lose so many places. He's not gonna actually lose so many places behind Trent. Behind him, it's all of the cars behind him. What is going on behind him? In front, Chimp is going for his first race win of the season. He's trying to go for it. He has a clear way in front of him. Behind as well, Cora is going to be blocking Poole like a madman in this 3rd sector, so Chimp should be clear on this final lap. Cora is absolutely blocking Pole's way. Poole, at the moment, he's in a prime position of being in a very good championship fight going into the final race of the season. Chimp in front, just 1.3 seconds. He just needs to stay out of the wide lines. Stay out of the wide lines. Do not make a mistake, and you are going to be good. You are clear as it could get. Cora is absolutely blocking behind. What the hell is happening behind? 2 cars going off. Trent is dropping down. He's down to P6, P8 he could get even. What is going on from Trent? Trent down to P7. Poole goes in front of Cora. Yenga boy right behind Cora. Behind, what is going on? What is happening? Constant down to P10. Spawn and Mighty as well spawn. What is happening behind Yenga boy? behind Cora, but Cora is not letting him through that easily. Olibot overtakes Fiji. Clipsy is going to be out of the contention for the championship. Olibot is still fighting with Fiji, but Clipsy is trying to go around the other side of Bot into turn 12. Is that gonna go for him? Well, a bit of contact between them, but now he has the inside line, and that should be end of that. But for Chimp, the Ferrari, they have been through everything this season, the lows, and now it's the high. Chimp wins in Abu Dhabi. What a race win for Chimp. All the lows before this. Now recently, he has improved a lot. Fresh as well, his pace has improved a lot. He's finishing P9, but Chimp, pole position and a race win in Abu Dhabi, where probably no one expected to get a race win. Since Ferrari, they haven't been good. Fresh, of course, Driver's Day from P18 to P9, that is one nominee, but Chimp, no one could have expected that he was gonna be the contender for the race win. And EA is doing this. EA is doing this again, where it doesn't show the fucking results again. So I can't really say anything about the results. I just have to flipping clip the got them. Not the screenshot. No, it doesn't even. I have to flipping clip a lot more. Okay, there we go. Just get the flipping results quickly. So yeah, Chimp. No one could have expected that he was winning the Grand Prix. Not even the pole position, but he has done it. The bloke has somehow done it. Pole P2, great recovery after no pace whatsoever. I'm just gonna get the rest of the standing so that I can say whatever I want in my own screenshot. Clipsy P3. Could have gone a lot better, but just that final safety car screwed him up a lot. Cora, that gamble to stay out has paid off. He was down in like P9, P10. Maybe not that low, but still P8, P9, somewhere around there, down there, and he's done it. He did it. The man did it. By the way, for some reason it didn't. Right. Where are these? No. I wanted the flipping results. Oh, for Christ's sake. Yeah, anyways, I mean, man is race. In the final bits. Okay, I'll get this. Yeah, Olibot as well, wonderful. Well, did the same what Cora did, and got P5 in the end. Yinga Boy, after that, drive through penalty. Was down in P11, but got P6 in the end. Of course, it's 3 seconds then. He can get a bit of a better position if he gets that 3 second off. Probably should get that, but yeah. Trent, what was that from Trent? The whole race he had no pace compared to the front runners. Then that undercut that he did, wonderful. Then stayed there. But then that second safety car, the first, or the only safety car, because there was a VSC, this safety car really screwed him up, and mathematically he is in there, but Poole is going to be the favorite to be in there, to be fighting for the championship. By the way, I thought that the gap between Poole and VisileBoar was 35 points. It was 34, so P6 would have been enough for Poole, but Poole got second, 18 points for him. That is roughly 16 points behind VisileBoar. 16 points behind. Yeah, 16 points. So 16 points. So I can already do this on my head, because in my head, since of course VisileBoar is not driving, so that's a lot easier. Poole would need third, fastest lap, and pole position. Let me just check the flipping. I mean, race wins. VisileBoar is gonna beat. Yeah, VisileBoar is gonna beat Poole in the race wins easily. So yeah. So P3 fastest lap and pole position. P2 or P1. P2 doesn't matter, fastest lap, pole position as well. P1 it doesn't matter, fast lap, pole position doesn't matter. For Trent, things are gonna get tricky for him. He needs a race win. He needs a race win. That's it. Just a race win. Yenga Boy and Clipsy are out of the championship, so we're gonna have a two horses driving and trying to beat the dominant horse who got killed by the owner, or by the owner of the flipping league. So yeah, this is like Jochen Renz back in 1970, where no one could get him after his death. But yeah, PG as well, probably screwed up by the safety car. Fresh P9, very good race. Yeah, from 18th, it looked like he was getting nothing. Got 2 points, so that's very good from him. Kema points, decent, I guess. Consola got slightly bit fucked on that second safety car. Mighty put the same. Chesney Reyes and Chesney can't really say anything. I mean, they weren't even in that safety car train when they were there. Nothing. And then the rest. Yeah, the rest is what it is, because I didn't get it in my clip. So yeah, the championship is gonna be, well, it is how I said it, but I'm gonna just make a recap. VisileBoar, of course, staying up with 141. Trent with only P7, 170 points. He's still in the championship mathematically. Needs a race win. Poole jumps up to P2 in the standings. 117 points plus 18. 117, and then 125. 25, yeah. 16 points behind. Needs P3, fastest lap and pole position. P2 or P1. P2, P1, just that. P3, fastest lap, pole position. That's the results that them two need, because of course VisileBoar is not driving. So yeah, Clipsy and Yenga Boy as well out of the championship. Yenga Boy is gonna jump Clipsy. The Ferrari and the Constructors are gonna jump Alpine. But I want to quickly check maths. By maths, I mean the Constructors. McLaren 15 points. I think VCarb are champions as well in the Constructors as of right now. Because McLaren, in the end, got only 15 points. The gap would have been cut down to only if VCarb would not have scored any points. The gap would have been cut down from 61 points down to 46, which that would have not been enough, since, of course, then there's the fastest lap, but that would only add 1 point to already 43, and then pole position 45, so they cannot do it. And even though if there would have been 1 extra point somehow out of someone's ass, that would have been, again, probably countered by the race wins that VisileBoar got, and probably that 1 race win that Trent got. No, actually, Trent has not won a race this season. So yeah. Trent would need that 1 race win, which he hasn't won a single race win, and if he would have gotten that 1 race win, it would be the most important one. But yeah, constructors are done, unless, I don't know, somehow Clipsy gets second, somehow Trent and Poole gets penalties, or either of them, somehow they get penalties, or Consta's penalty, maybe 2 penalties get off, so maybe he gets himself up to P8. So yeah, constructors are done. The drivers' standings are still very much on. It looked like Trent could be the one to watch, but it has completely turned around, and it is Poole that is going to be the one to watch in the final race of the season. Final race of the season, it is the lovely Qatar, which is impossible to overtake on, besides turn 1. Of course, not really impossible, it's you can overtake everywhere, but really going for a dive bombing down to turn 13 is not really a wise decision to do, especially that if you would have been behind going into turn 12. But yeah, we are gonna see some crazy overtakes and DRS chicken on the final laps. Definitely good qualifying laps, satisfying ones, since Qatar is a good track to do time trials and qualifying. In the race, the track doesn't promote overtaking besides turn 1, and turn 1 is mainly because of DRS. I mean, almost every single track is promoted by DRS, but yeah, unless if you do not have the DRS on the train in front, then chances of you not catching up to the pack in front is very likely that you're not gonna catch up. So yeah, very good track for overtaking and all that. DRS chicken, and yeah, see you next week in Qatar Lusail International Circuit for the finale of the season. Ciao.